Hey all, welcome to Jam once again. We are going to have an intense discussion on the role of good food for health. Well, you know the old axiom, beauty starts from within. Well, in this case of your skin, it is 100% true, which is one of the reasons we should be practicing to take healthy of the junk.
Okay. Uh, Thank you, Anila, for inviting me for this particular webinar. I am wondering really how you are able to select such a kind of topics for on this webinar session. I remember last time we had discussed about the sleep, even though it is a simple but having a high impact on the health. So similarly, this time you brought a topic called food. The food is a very basic quintessential thing, but it is having a very high impact on the health. Basically, what we eat has a direct effect on our skin and also on our health, because eating a healthy diet full of good foods such as antioxidants, vitamins, especially vitamin C, vitamin E, collagens, and amino acids, all these can mean to difference between a fresh, glowing complexion when compared with a tired, puffy, wrinkled one skin.
So true, doctor. And I understand when it comes to the effective management, proper food intake and nutrition are both the key to good health.
Yeah, of course. So it is important to take a proper nutritious food for good health. See, the smart nutrition, which we can consider, we have a food choices which can help prevent diseases. So eating the right food can help your body to cope up more successfully with an ongoing illness or to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And understanding a good nutrition and paying attention to what kind of food you eat to help maintaining or improving health is most important here.
I'm sure that the nutritious food we are eating plays a major role in our well being as well. So, what does the food exactly do in our bodies?
Okay, so why we eat and what it does to our body and how it is going to have an impact on our the basic attributes of the body. So if you remember, I mean to say in Ayurvedic concepts, there are basically three type of foods which have been told. I mean to say three type of qualities. So that is sattva, raja, and tamasika. That means to say the people, those who are eating sattvic foods will have sattva pravartana. That means to say every mild in nature. And whereas in a case of people, those who are eating rajasika food, they'll have ferocious in nature, and the people those who are eating tamasika diet will have very dull in their attitude. I'll give a simple lucid examples for these three basic kind of foods. Sattvic food means a person who is eating a nutritious fruits and vegetables will have an ideal pleasant mind. And rajasika food, what we consider, it is the people those who are eating the non-vegetarian food, especially during the time of ancient time, the kings used to eat this kind of rajasika food. That means to say they go for hunting and they used to tame the animals and they eat that particular.
Thinking about food in this way certainly gives us a very different view of the nutrition that goes beyond calories or grams, good foods or bad foods. Right, doctor?
Created by the cell activity, that metabolic process slow down or even sometimes it may stop. That is the reason this is very essential. In other words, we also can say that nutrients give our bodies, either it may be by the source of information to the body. That means to say giving input, right input or wrong input. Based on that, body functions.
And doc, when we think about food in this way, certainly it gives us a different view of nutrition, which goes beyond calories or grams or good food or bad foods.
Yeah, this particular view leads us to focus on foods which we should include rather than the foods which we should exclude. So instead of viewing food as the enemy, we look to food as a way to create health and reduce the disease by helping body maintaining their functions.
And yeah, eating takeaway and processed food have become quite a habit for all of us right now. And we know it's not good for us, yet we crave for it.
Anila, I will tell you why you crave for processed food, because the particular kind of additives which they are being used in processed foods are tempting and addiction formation. So basically, our supermarkets are full of convenient packaging food that appeals to our taste, but those compromise the nutrition of that. Definitely, those are very appealing in color, taste, flavor, fragrance, etc. But I'm certainly sure that the nutrition is being compromised in certain kind of processed foods, because most of these processed foods will where the natural nutrients are removed in the refining processes, which we need to get them elsewhere. So one American standard basic diet which rely heavily depends on the processed foods includes the different kind of artificial colors, additives, flavoring agents, and chemically altered fats, sweeteners, etc. Basically, these additives and chemicals alter the substances may give our bodies the wrong signals instead of the information that they need to give a proper functioning properly. So sometimes even the natural foods have fewer nutrients, especially when compared with the type of food substances which are present in ancient times and the current scenario, the nutritional value of the food is becoming decreased by day. So our food, which is not as same as it was in 20 years ago. So nutrients in the soil have depleted. So food grown in that soil definitely have a direct impact in lesser amount of nutrients, and the increasing utility of chemicals which is used to raise the crops, both plants and animals, especially in, even with respect to the vegetative chemicals which are being used, like fertilizers and pesticides, have an impact on the nutritional food. And similarly, the kind of non-vegetarian food like the poultry industry or the meat industry or the other non-vegetarian food, there also there is an increasing utility of the chemical substances in order to get the more weight, more growth hormones or antibiotics. A lot of different kind of chemical substances have been being used for the growth and rapid development and long sustain. So all those things will definitely have an impact on the quality of the food which is being present. And nowadays, if you see, we are eating a very less variety of foods. I mean to say less variety of foods. Ironically, while there are close to 17,000 new products are being introduced in each year of different variants of foods like snacks, etc., etc. But in that, two-thirds of our calories comes only from just four foods. Those are the only four areas where two-thirds of our calories will come. That is from corn, soybeans, wheat, and principally the rice.
Wow, that was new information for me. I mean, we eat quite a platter of food and from different cuisines as well.
So yeah, basically we eat for convenience, not for pleasure. And we tend to eat for convenience and speed and no health and pleasure. So basically our fast food industry also remove us from pleasure, and our fast pace often prevents us from connecting over a good and slow meal. Basically, if you closely observe your family, what exactly is happening in a in a corporate, or I mean to say in a cosmopolitan city, the working mothers and the school children should go to their schools with their lunch boxes, and the the working men should go to their offices to have a sumptuous meal. Sitting with the family members is totally absent. The late comings, the early going to office, and the non-traditional working hours, all these things are being drastically changed. And similarly, the type of food which they are carrying for their offices and schools is also drastically changed. So in search of nutrient foods, the people started adapting the healthy salads and fruits and the vegetables also. Here we should be very careful in eating, even though it is a healthy nutritious food, but as it at times it is having the chances of contamination with the chemicals like pesticides, preservatives, artificial ripening agents, artificial colors, etc., other harsh chemicals on this particular thing. So hence, even you are adapting a nutritious food, but you should be very careful whether that food is hygienic or not. So hence the concept of the recent trend like washing your fruits and vegetables, cleaning those particular substances which you are eating when in raw condition is the mandate.
And Doc, let's move on to the other aspect of consuming nutritious food. As you rightly said, how sure are we in properly washing our fruits and vegetables? It is a widely known fact that fruits and vegetables are loaded with pesticides which are really harmful for the human health.
Yeah, I do agree with your concept, because keeping in this mind, many of you end up in buying fresh produce from organic market, considering that those are safe, good, nutritious. But think again, the organic food, fruits, vegetables are also grown not far from regular cultivation farms. Those are also being cultivated in the same gardens and same soil. Probably the chemicals which they are not adding at the time of growth for a growth promoter or for a growing are pesticides, but they also will contain certain chemical substances which are being carried away through the wind from the adjacent farms. And rinsing such fruits and vegetables under regular water helps get rid of the food items of soil and microorganisms, and also up to certain extent a potential human pathogens such as E. coli, Listeria, and Salmonella. However, this is not a straightforward practice, and it is important of course, but not a perfect solution. So just washing with water is not going to remove everything which is present on the fruit. So the practice of ancient days is different, and the current practice and current requirements are a little different because of the advent and because of the economic growth, or because of the globalization, or because of various other factors. There are a lot of chemicals, pesticides have been increased in lab, rather because of urbanization. So the fruits and vegetables which we might buy from market go through a number of touch points before reaching your home. So we don't know how extent such a fruit has got contaminated, and more importantly, will they remove by just water is also a point need to be noted. And before you consume anything, think twice and use a proper solution to wash it, to clean it.
And make sure to think thrice before eating anything from now on, Doc.
Of course, we need to have a practice, especially the tendency what I observed in the fruits, the fresh fruits. So there are different kind of fruits, lychees, strawberries, cantaloupe, etc., which have an uneven surface on the rough outer skin, has high chances of housing dirt particles, and we should use more than just water for properly and efficient rinsing of those fruits to prevent potential bacteria spreading. As you can cut through the melon with a knife. Sorry. There also you should be very careful in observing those particular microorganisms note.
And Doc, there are fruits like apples which are coated with wax. Can I just remove the wax by washing with water?
See, most of the apples which are currently available are being coated with wax. So the wax coating is having multiple benefits for the fruit. So they think that it is going to preserve the prevention of evaporation of moisture from the fruit, and also the fruit looks shiny. For that particular purpose, waxing is become a practice for apples especially. But as you rightly said, simple water wash will never remove the wax on that particular apple. It requires a special washing techniques.
Clearly,
And
I'm washing my fruits and vegetables not in the right way, Doc.
yes, because just washing with water is not enough, as I repeatedly tell. And you need to select such a product, or you need to select such a agent which try to tend to damage the systems inside our body, starting from the immune system to the reproductive and nervous system and etc. And more importantly, it disrupt all the immune system over a period of time. I remember one concept of Ayurveda here with respect to the poisoning or the Garavisha or Dushivisha, what they have told. So the cumulative poisoning. So by repeated consumption of very low amount of poisons or the toxins over a period of time will tend to deposit in your body over a period of time. Once they mean to say that this food poisoning or this kind of chronic poisoning of the pesticides and etc. will not have a direct impact on the immediately. And there are other type of poisonings which we can notice immediately, like a simple food poisoning. Example, if you go and buy a plate of pani puri or a kind of snacks on the hotel or a roadside, so the immediately you are going to find out the impact of such a kind of the unhygienic food. So your stomach will get upset and you may end up in a diarrhea or vomiting, etc. But similarly, contrarily, the other kind of food poisoning which you are going to see over a period of time, which is going to have impact on immune system, because we need our immune system to work well now more than ever, because with the current pandemic situation, we simply don't want to fall ill immediately. And some alarming facts about your fruits and vegetables which you consume on day-to-day basis also we should have a look, especially the fruits like strawberries, which usually contain high amount of pesticides. It has been found that 1/3 of all strawberries contain 10 or more pesticide residue, and the simple leafy vegetable like spinach contains pesticide residues like permethrin, which is a neurotoxic insecticide that is highly toxic to humans and animals. Approximately 97% of spinach comes with pesticide residue. So another fruit which you consider, 90% of apples have pesticide residue, especially the diphenylamine is the one which is present on the apple. And one of the most consumed vegetable is potato, which also contains pesticide residue than any other crop or vegetable. And herbicide called chloroform can be usually found in such potatoes. And even the organic produce, as I mentioned, which is we consider that it is chemical free, but that also has pathogens, which is the reason why you need to wash organic produce not only with plain just water. And even the latest trend, like that is the terrace garden or home garden, homegrown produce, that is the vegetables and the fruits or these kind of leafy vegetables which people tend to cultivate on their terraces in urban cities, etc. So even if you have pets in your home, that in the garden open area, you need to be extra careful and about the poisoning or toxication of such kind of things. So you should be very careful in using your home produce also. And pesticides and chemicals is helpful in keeping the fruits and vegetables away from insects and pests. But the residual amount which is present, which is being consumed by humans, can impact our health and also life-threatening infections at times. So we shouldn't stop just washing the fruits and vegetables with simple water. We are supposed to, choose a product which is developed and designed to help to remove the pesticides, the harsh chemicals, to use for as a fruit and vegetable wash.
And yes, Doc, I've heard a thing or two about the fruit and veggie wash that you're talking about. But Doc, how different is it from washing with just running water?
Yes. Say recently I come across this particular product, scientifically developed, scientifically evaluated, made with very normal natural surfactants and contains natural ingredients in order to remove the pesticides and wax and other microorganisms, which has been tested in an NABL accredited laboratory for its efficacy, how it is going to wash away the percentage of residual pesticides present on fruits.
Okay, I'm now definitely going to buy this NutriWatch right after this webinar for sure, Doc.
Yes, go ahead and follow me. And don't forget that nutrition is a critical part of health and development, but we need to carefully select that particular nutritional material. What I am consuming is hygienic also, because better nutrition is related to improved infant, child, and mental health, and also the stronger immune system and safe in pregnancy, childbirth, and very low risk of especially non-communicable diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular and longevity. And because of by eating a healthy food, there will be a healthy children or more productive at their workplaces. People those who are eating a lot of junk food will may not perform very well when compared with a healthy diet. And this kind of environment create opportunity to gradually break the cycles of poverty and hunger in India. And my motto or my suggestion is that hygienic, healthy, nutritious food is the need of the hour.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. And we have learned quite a lot about nutritious food today, and it is surprising to hear that potato contains more pesticide residue than any other crop or vegetable. Wow. Well, I have my NutriWatch now, and so me and my family are going to be safe. I urge you all to do the same. And I thank you, Dr. Ravishankar, for the wonderful insights that you've given us today.
Thank you, Anila. Thank
And
you.
I thank you all for joining the webinar today. And also, I hear that Nutrinom Wellness is running an offer on their website. Just have to use the code PEP10 and definitely buy their NutriWatch. Until then, take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you, everyone. Bye.